Anybody that, okay. So you can do that by requesting through our city clerk 24 hours in advance to be recognized during public recognition. Next up, we have the mayor's report.
All right. Good evening, Council President, council members. Got to have a couple slides here. We'll get through this. Good information to share. All right. So this is just wanted to kind of summarize some Charleston business district activities, city involvement, and a lot of energy. Also just coming from the residents and businesses in that part of our city. So the goal for 2024 is to improve a mid-block crossing at 600 block of Callow. So you'll see that coming here this year. Relocation of planters. Now there's buying new stuff, right? And then there's repurposing existing equipment, and which has a long life left. And so there's a couple good things here. So we had excess, pots. And so working with the Charleston Business District, we were able to relocate from, as you can see, the Manette on their recent remodel, 4th Street, and then some benches that are also coming from 4th Street because we're getting ready to revamp that whole street and block into the next Quincy Square. So, and then the mural project. So later this month down in Charleston, there will be a meeting to gather input, momentum, support. They'll probably try to raise some money for the mural project. The city's involvement in this partnership is to prep the wall and get it ready for them. So this is one of our projects we've had on the budget. Thank you, council. You are all aware of this effort, and all of these efforts been supportive, including the line item for prepping the wall for the mural. Next slide. Okay, this one here. How many of you are familiar with the Robin Eagle Avenue? I knew, Council President, you were going to raise your hand. Councilor Rebelowski, we had a chronic issue with flooding in this area. So the city took this on. As you can see, the flooding's corrected, but to complete the project, the outfall needs to be reconstructed. You can see on the left, there'll be some reconstruction on that. Some good work by the city. As you can see, we were awarded a Public Works Trust Board awarded us $500,000. And of course, this gets added to the 3.88 million and helps us complete this project. A lot of folks in the city do not realize what we were going through just in that little neighborhood. This is going to improve their life quite a bit. And I'm happy we're almost done with this. Next slide, please. All right, Sheridan Road closure. So this road work is going to be between Cherry and Halverson only. And this the closure limits extend to the west to keep major traffic from being detoured onto the residential streets. The closure area is actually local traffic only. So work will begin this Sunday and be completed by next Friday, May 24th. This is just an update because it's a little more extensive road work than you're used to seeing without a complete major reconstruction already in the works. This is a repair that needs to happen, and we'll answer any questions as they come up, but it's a heads up. This is emergent work. And next slide, please. Kitsap Lake update. So the first, and you see all the information up here, and that's basically what's most important is the algae control treatment will be completed on Monday, May 20th, and then Tuesday, May 21st. There's some requests for boaters to stay clear while the application's occurring. And mainly I have a lot of notes here about why this is important, but essentially the bottom line is it helps protect against toxic algae blooms. And this is why we have a lake that's now has great visibility. It has great predictability as far as being able to plan events around this lake because we have less toxic algae blooms now. And so this is some great work. from our staff. And again, we're dedicated. And again, council, thank you for allowing this line item to go through and be budgeted for. We don't get this done if we don't get the funds. And so I appreciate your support on this. All right, Dave. And last but not least, just promoting this public meeting for the Safe Routes to School. And this is the Almira reconstruction project leading over to Sylvan, and then, of course, down the street towards View Ridge Elementary School. We're trying to promote it, get as much input as possible. May 21st, 4:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. at View Ridge Elementary School. All right, that's it, council. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have the consent agenda.
Thank you, President Chamberlain. For approval on the consent agenda are the following items. A, claims and check register. 1, check numbers 406-874 through 407-042 and EFT numbers V40896 through V40994 in the grand total amount of $2,709,538.64. 2, regular payroll for pay period ending April 30th, 2024, in the amount of $1,095,843.12. 3, regular payroll payout for pay period ending April 30th, 2024, in the amount of $12,133.28. B, meeting minutes, May 1st, 2024. C, study session minutes, May 8th, 2024. D, confirm mayor's appointment of Peregrine K. Sorter as administrative hearing examiner and approval of associated professional services agreement. And E, ordinance number 5492, amending section 2.50.032 of the Bremerton Municipal Code entitled Actual Salary Rate. This concludes the reading of the consent agenda.
Thank you, Clerk Hoover. Does any member of the public wish to comment on one of the items on the consent agenda? Anybody online? Okay. Going once, going twice. Okay. Seeing none, we'll go to council for a motion.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Oh,
Thank you, gentlemen. All right. We have a motion and a second. So let's vote.
Councilmember Coughlin,
Yes.
Revelowski,
Yes.
Goodnow,
yes.
Mochler,
Yes.
Younger,
Yes.
Chamberlain.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. Next up is public recognition. As noted on the agenda, public recognition provides an opportunity for attendees to address the council on any issue not already on tonight's agenda. There will be no public comments accepted via Zoom tonight. And it's also a reminder that this is election season, so please refrain from any endorsements for or comments about candidates or ballot measures or against. So with that, feel free to line up at the podium and wait to be recognized. And again, I like to remind folks about our timer system. We have the timer system that'll be available up on the screen, but also we have a green light, yellow light, red light system. And if you've driven anywhere, you might have a sense of where we're going with that color system. And we just ask that you state your name for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. With that, I open up public recognition.
Thomas Waters. I live down at Evergreen Park in District 3. I fly the flag on a high pole at my house so I can see which way the wind is blowing. The oath to the federal flag is a promise to uphold the constitutional democracy, including the Bill of Rights. I came to in a hospital in Virginia a decade ago, and the only word I could say is yes. I spent the next year relearning the rudiments of speech and trying to remember who I was. My father, who had served at Woodby Island Naval Base, and my uncle Earl, who was shot and delayed at Normandy, and Uncle Jack Waters, who was an army doctor in Berlin, were discussing their outrage at the John Birch Society lie that Eisenhower was a godless Republican communist. Eisenhower is just been elected for his second term against Stevenson, and a redo of the first time they have been paired. Two old men with old ideas, my American inheritance. I haven't a suggestion for the importance of the pledge and the tradition.
Mr. Waters, can you pause for just one moment? Can we please extend his time by 2 minutes?
Yeah.
You have 2 more minutes, sir.
Yeah. Thanks. The significance of the words when for elected officials when conducting official meetings. I have been watching the public comments for a long time and reading about that in the kids' son. My intent is to add to you burden until the issue is resolved. 3 minutes at a time when I could. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Waters. Come on up.
Hello, I'm Joey Hayes. I came to talk about, my tablet wants to be on the right page. I know Councilor Coughlin, you were at the KHHC meeting earlier, and so you probably have some idea of what I'm going to say. So there's been the Kitsap Rescue Mission, which has been at the Quality Inn for a few years, we all know is moving to Port Orchard in the Pacific Building. And unfortunately, in that move, they're actually losing beds. The last accurate count I was able to get for the Quality Inn location was 102, and they'll have 75 in the Pacific Building. And then there's also the fact that I've heard anything from 125 to 200 people on their wait list at that. And I know it financially isn't within the Kitsap Rescue Mission's capability right now to keep the Quality Inn location, but we have something that's functioning at that location, and we should be looking for a way to preserve that in some manner, even if it's not with the full wraparound services, because I don't really see when we have hundreds of people on wait lists getting rid of any shelter space that we have already. So it would probably be a matter of finding funding and finding staff to replace some of the staff there. And even if we couldn't have all of those wraparound services, anything is better than nothing. Even if it was bare bones for the time, with people living there and getting resources from other locations out in the community, that's still around 100 people less in our county who are just have nowhere to go. The Salvation Army isn't a 100% solution. We know we have more unhoused people than we have staying at the Salvation Army. Although I've been happy to see that
30 seconds.
thank you, that the numbers at the Salvation Army have been going up, that people are becoming more comfortable there. But I think we have to be aware also that the Salvation Army isn't the most disability accessible just because of the nature. And anyway, to bring that to a close, I really think it's essential that we find a way to maintain those beds at least until we open up the other shelter that we have planned for Bremerton. Thank you.
Thank you. Does any other member of the public wish to comment or wish to speak during public recognition? Okay, seeing none, I will close public recognition. And we have no general business items tonight, so we will go to council reports. And because it is the last meeting of the month, for council members to provide an update on issues or events taking place in their district, we're going to Vice President Anna Mockler with District. Oh wait, I'm so sorry. District 7, Eric Younger, you're last but not
I think you know
least.
my answer. No report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Vice President Mockler.
Thank you, Council President Chamberlain. So I have some good news on Lulu Haddon Park. Yay. I spoke to the mayor Wednesday. Mayor, you're not tooting your own horn enough. On Thursday morning, a bid came through for, hang on, I had this and now I've lost it. There we go. The city is hiring a professional services firm to provide construction management services for Bremerton's Lulu Haddon Park renovation project. They are expecting to issue notice to proceed in late June with construction to start in July. So some good news on the Lulu Haddon front. Last night at my monthly town hall, it was a very lively conversation. And again, I'd very much like to thank City Attorney Fennell and Bremerton Police Department Chief Wolf for coming and answering many, many, many questions about nuisance activities and nuisance properties. And I'm very grateful to all of the people who showed up, showed respect, practiced civil discourse. And I think we may actually be able to move forward in improving the process of reducing nuisance activities in Bremerton. Apart from that, if I could have the slide, please. I only have the one, Dave. Oh, okay, then there we go. So the next town hall is on June 10th, always at 100 Oyster Bay Avenue North. Thank you, Public Works. So if anyone, I've issued an open invitation on Monday night and I'm issuing it again. If anyone has a topic that they would like to focus on at that time, please let me know. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. District 5, Councilor Goodnow.
All right, yeah, just a couple slides and a couple, I think, quick announcements. I don't know the order they're in. So the Forest Ridge Park Stewardship Day is coming up, always the third Saturday of the month. So that is this Saturday. So you could go get that in before the parade. So because it'll be a full day for all of us. And next Just want to bring attention to the Charleston District's monthly meeting Tuesday, May 21st, 6 p.m. It'll be at Typewriter Fever, and there's a link there. But you can also find the Charleston District on social media, on Facebook especially. So that's all for today. Thanks.
Thank you. District 4, Councilor Rebelowski.
Thank you. I think I have a couple slides. Okay. So here we are, Washington Avenue. Illegal parking in a bike lane with an 8-year-old child riding her bike in the street. So I've been talking with staff about this for a long time. And one of the suggestions one of the senior staff made to me was that when people see a vehicle parked in the bike lane, that they should get up on the sidewalk through the drive approaches on either end of this illegal parking spot, and that way the bike rider would be safer. But it's kind of hard to teach a 8-year-old child all the things about being safe on the road and then say, oh, and by the way, if you're not safe, because some adult who has repeatedly, like over 30 times, this vehicle has been ticketed for parking there illegally. And the community would really like the administration to really get serious about fixing this problem. It is a big problem, and there are solutions to it. Next slide, please. So my next monthly town hall is the 6th Street Active Transportation Improvement Project, which most of us know as the 6th Street Bike Lane. And Nick Atai from Public Works, he's the project manager for the city, is going to come talk to us about the preliminary plans that he's put together. There has been a lot of interest. I've gotten lots of RSVPs already, and I don't even know that the big email list has been sent out. So the high school was kind enough to find me a slightly larger room to do it in with air conditioning. So I hope to see everybody at that meeting so we can all ask questions, get information, and see when this long-awaited bike lanes are going to be installed. And that's all I have for my report this month. Thanks.
Thank you. District 3, Councilor Coughlin.
You know that road, that's in my district. No, actually, let me just say thank you, Councilor Rebelowski as Public Works Chair, for taking that on. It's been an ongoing source of concern for folks in my district. I've
The whole city.
spoken up about it several times, and at this point, I'm glad you're taking the torch and running with it, because it's it's a longstanding issue. To my slide decks. It's got standing slide encouraging folks to sign up for our various commissions and committees in the city. There are a bunch of them. I believe, just checking the website, we're still looking for a CPA for audit committee. There's still 2 empty spots on the planning commission, 1 on the parks commission, 1 on the arts commission, and I believe 1 or 2 on BCAT. So I would certainly hope that if we have qualified applicants for those committees, we would get them filled as quick as possible, because it's really important that we have those commission committees with as many diverse voices giving us input as possible. But if you're sitting here tonight, if you're watching at home and you haven't volunteered for any that interests you, please sign up if you live in the city. Next slide. Then I thought I'd just spend the rest of my few minutes. If folks didn't see, the county came out with their preferred alternative for their comprehensive plan. And I just got a few slides here, mostly focusing on zoning. So if you go to the next one, Dave. So this is an example. They have a really cool website that you can scroll through. They call it a storyboard. And it starts and it just walks you through the process, an intro, and then it goes area by area and it highlights what's currently planned, what the differences are from the last comp plan. So really great way to highlight what their plans are and comment on it. If we go to the next slide, Dave. So I just kind of took this crop mostly surrounding Bremerton, because obviously we have some really crazy jagged boundaries with the county. We have islands of city in the county, islands of county in our city. So what the county does impacts what we do as a city, vice versa, as we'll be tackling our comp plan on council later this year. It's undergoing in the planning commission at the moment. So Dave, can I ask you to toggle between the next slide and this one and just kind of flip back and forth? So the first one is what's current, and then the next one is what's proposed. And long story short, there's not many changes in East Bremerton, but going out to West Bremerton, you can see some boundary, some black lines coming in above Kitsap Lake and below Kitsap Lake. And I figured I'd just go to the folks can see that. Yeah, perfect. And go to the next slide, Dave. So I figured I'd just zoom in on these areas to kind of highlight the proposed changes in this area. And of course, there's a lot more, so folks should dig into it all. But let's see if we can get to the next slide. This is a nice table so for East Bremerton urban growth area, just north of my district and right next to Councilmember Fry's district. This is an example of how they're highlighting what the current status is, what the county planning commission recommended, and what the county board of commissioners has currently decided to put on the table for public feedback. One item to note, we had a lot of discussion last year about the Fisher plat, which is in the county. So just so folks know, the county is not currently considering any change of zoning in that area. But they are looking for other commercial areas to, looks like, increase a little bit of residential dwelling unit per acre and a little bit of increase on the maximum structure height. And next slide. This is a little highlight where again, you flip through, they walk you through exactly what's changing. And so especially in West Bremerton, adding some urban growth area. So these are areas that the city is expected to grow into in a one-day annex. Next slide. Oh, perfect. Yeah. So here's an area of a expansion just north of Kitsap Lake. We can go next slide. And then here's another area just south of Kitsap Lake. Again, an expansion of the urban growth area. And the last one, just to highlight, is an area around Euland Tree Farm, where the county commissioners took a little bit from their alternative 3, which is more rural growth, and added it to alternative 2, which was really focusing on more urban growth. So just wanted to show those as highlights for folks if you get a chance to dig into and give feedback to the county. Just good to consider as we move forward. And that's it for me.
Thank you. Do we have any slides for District 2 by chance? I don't think we do. Okay. All right. I just have one slide for District 1, the best district in Bremerton. Oh. Okay. It's debatable. They're all pretty great. But over on, if you know where Cafe Perfetto is, they are on the corner of Wheaton and Sheridan. And on May 18th, if you meet up at 8:30, you can get a bright vest and equipment, gloves, a bag, some pickers, and that's all provided by the county cleanup program. And you can head out and do a little cleanup around Warren Avenue Bridge, sometimes Stephenson Canyon, down Sheridan into the neighborhoods. Not only that, but you get free coffee and a donut and a free shirt. So I encourage you to head down there. It's a really great group of folks, and they really cover ground fast. And they're usually done by before 11 o'clock. So they just go out for about an hour, and they all go different ways and clean up District 1. It's pretty great. That's my only slide today. That's all I have for my report. I'm going to go ahead and read the announcement, and then we're going to head into some executive sessions. The next study session will be held on the 6th floor council conference room on Wednesday, May 22nd, beginning at 5 p.m. with a remote option available via Zoom. The council will now meet with legal counsel for 10 minutes to discuss current or potential litigation as allowed under RCW 42.30.110(1I). 10 minutes to discuss legal risks of current or proposed action as allowed under RCW 42.30.110(1I), and 10 minutes to discuss legal risks of current or proposed action as allowed under RCW 42.30.110(1I). No action is anticipated. Thank you. And we will be back.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
The first executive session has been extended for 5 minutes.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Executive session number 1 has been extended an additional 5 minutes.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Executive session number 2 has now started for 10 minutes.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Executive session number 2 has been extended for 5 minutes.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Executive session number 3 has now started for 10 minutes.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Executive session number 3 has been extended for 5 additional minutes.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Executive session number 3 has been extended for an additional 5 minutes.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Tonight's meeting is adjourned.